To work a long tail cast on, which is one of the most widely used cast ons in knitting, we've got to start by estimating what our long tail is going to need to be in length. So to do this, my go-to trick, which I learned from knit designer and amazing teacher Teresa Chavez, shout out to Teresa, is we're going to take one of the knitting needles we're going to cast on with, and we're going to hold the working yarn or the tail end of our yarn against the knitting needle with our thumb. Then what we've got to do is just wrap the working end, which is the end of our yarn that's attached to the yarn ball. We've got to wrap that around our needle. You can wrap it around the number of times your cast on needs to be, or you can do what I like to do, which is just wrap it around 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then use that length to multiply to figure out the length that your whole cast on needs to be. So the rule of thumb here, no pun intended, is that one wrap around the needle is approximately equal to the tail length you need per stitch of your cast on. Now that might sound like a story problem, but just think about it this way. We wrapped 10 times around this knitting needle, and this tail, if we pinch the yarn off here and hold it, this tail that is equal to the length of 10 wraps, this will be enough tail to cast on 10 stitches. So whatever you estimate, so if you wanted to do 20 stitches, we've got 10 stitches worth of tail here. You can just double it up, and there you go right there. From here to the end is what you would need to cast on 20 stitches. Since this is just a quick video for demonstration, let's just pretend we want to cast on 10. So we've got our tail for our 10 stitches, and now we just need to add like 3 or 4 more inches for the tail at the very end that's not part of our cast on, the tail that hangs off. I'll point that out when we get to that in a moment, just to clarify if you're brand new to this cast on. So next, we've got our long tail estimated using that wrap method. Now what we've got to do is form our slingshot. The slingshot term is one of those that I couldn't tell you where it was invented, but it's used all the time to teach knitting. To make our slingshot, which is how we then form our long tail cast on, we basically go like this. You make your hand into a little gun shape with your thumb and pointer finger, and these 3 fingers hanging out over here. Then what we've got to do is, while your fingers are still holding off the length of that long tail we estimated, you need to put the center of that long tail you estimated in between your thumb and pointer finger in your slingshot. Then you're going to want the raw or tail end of your yarn towards your body, and your working yarn, the yarn that's attached to your ball, should be off away from your body. And that's how you form your slingshot. I'm going to take the needle, and starting away from my body on this side of this string, I'm going to grab that yarn and give it a little turn clockwise. Then to cast on the second of the first 2 stitches, we're going to take the tip of the needle over the palm, and I'm using my pointer finger to hold that stitch we just created secure. I'm sliding the tip of this needle along the inside of my thumb to catch that loop that's around the thumb. Then I'm going to go over away from my body, over the top of the string around my pointer finger, to catch it and bring it back through the thumb loop. Then I'm going to carefully drop my thumb out, catch that tail of my yarn, and gently tighten to complete the first 2 stitches cast on. Then all I've got to do is swing my thumb back out to the left and kind of rearrange my slingshot till it's comfortable again. And I'm ready to repeat the second part of this cast on that I just demonstrated, to continue casting on each stitch after these first 2. So to do that cast on, we're going to keep doing the following. You're going to take that tip of your needle over the top of your palm towards your body, slide the tip along your thumb, catching that string, go away from your body over the top of that pointer finger string, catch it and bring it back, drop your thumb out of that loop, pull on the long tail to tighten, but not too tight, and resume your slingshot position. Then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna skip to fast mode, because once you get this down, it's really like muscle memory. I'm just skipping to fast mode to show to you how well that long tail estimation works. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 10. So you can see that we easily had enough of a long tail to cast on our 10 stitches, and have a few inches extra remaining because you need just a little bit more than that initially estimated 10 stitch tail that we counted. You need just a little bit more for the cast on to actually work. So taking a closer look at the stitches we've cast on, you can see that it's not the stretchiest cast on in the world, but it's so easy to memorize that there's a reason it's an almost universal cast on in knitting. There's what it looks like, and that's how you work a long tail cast on.